Well, good evening and welcome to Mr. Bills. I want to thank Mr. Bills and Upscale Productions for bringing it Truax's Trenches one more time, Coach. Thanks for being
Mark,
here.
Sure, good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a pretty good show tonight, man. We've got, as always, Coach Truax here to talk about football, and we'll have Amber Becknell will be on to talk all about the cheer and all the things they do to support and uplift the school, and then we'll have Kevin Guidry. I'm not sure what he's going to talk about. I don't know. We'll get him on here, and I'll cut him off as much as I can. I'll try to be Rick Serro to his, and Scooter Hobbs to his guy. Then we're going to have a couple players on. That's going to be exciting. Yeah, the first time we've had tonight. Players. Yeah. So we'll have Will Flavin and we'll have Connor Boudreau on.
Sure.
And we'll talk to them. And so excited about tonight's program. So but let's get started right away. Coach, exciting football game last week.
Yeah, I tell you what, we talked about the prior week that I feel like that Iowa is the best football team in Calcasieu Parish, and they delivered. They made fewer mistakes than we made. Our guys played well. They played hard. I promise you, we got Iowa's attention.
Absolutely.
And couldn't have been prouder of the effort our team made.
Yeah. Did you, going into the game, I mean, obviously as coaches, you always have a positive game plan. You always think that we might be able to get this, we might be able to get that. Was there anything that surprised you or didn't surprise you about the way the game went?
Mark, in my experience, the best teams I've ever been around are player-driven teams. And our players are starting to drive this team. It's starting to show up, it's starting to carry over on the practice field, in the locker room, on our way to the stadium, in the visitors' locker room, the way we take in the field. So we're starting to gain a little presence.
Yeah. Are you feeling the difference between week one and week 5, so to speak?
Yeah, we're forming an identity. We're still not there yet. We've got a brand new season now starting with district play, so everybody's 0-0. I think we've had a tremendous preseason, and we've learned every week kind of some of our strengths and some of our weaknesses. Right. And it's going to take us here, Westlake, and we're picked for Westlake's homecoming, and I don't really know what that all entails, but our guys will be ready to play.
Well, yeah, you'll be in the same stadium you were just in. You'll just have to flop.
Different locker room.
Yeah, you have to flop sides like that, and you'll look into the sun for a brief moment or two. What's that look like for you? I mean, other than the homecoming, that thing is kind of not y'all's problem. It just extends things a little bit longer at halftime.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Westlake's had some success this year. They're sitting at 3-2. They have some outstanding players and have some returning starters. They're playing well at the quarterback position. I think their tight end does an exceptional job. I think John and his staff have been together a long time. That's a great facility. If you hadn't seen Westlake High School, I mean, it's a tremendous 3A school and facility.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful place, and it's nice that y'all are able to use that for some home games as well.
Yeah, John was kind enough to bring that to the administration, and they have, serviced us this year. Next year I'd like to maybe be able to use Cougar Stadium if it's accessible, or play LaGrange, just to have something closer to home for us. Yeah,
well, I know a couple of board members on Ward 3 Rec Board, so we'll make sure Cougar Stadium is ready for you guys.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Can we delete that on tape right there? So you had some success last week, of course. With the running situation getting squared away a little bit.
Yeah. The game kind of went back and forth for a little bit, and a 3A versus 4A, we have maybe some of the depth at different positions that the larger schools that we don't have that they have, and I think that caught us at a few moments. A great example that Will goes out and kicks a tremendous punt and pins Westlake inside the 1 yard line, and everybody's hooting and hollering. To myself, I'm just thinking, oh gosh, here we go, Bucky again, And the next play, our linebacker, Matthew Aber, who had a tremendous football game, was right in that hole to tackle this guy for a 2-point safety. I mean, it should have been a 2-point safety, get a little bit momentum. But instead, that young man made a play and, scampered for about 15 yards. offense. But
Yeah.
everybody on that sideline for St. Louis was involved with the role to win that game.
Well, yeah, it was. I thought from where we were watching, it was pretty exciting and pretty evenly matched for the most part. It was, it was like trading punches back and forth early on, and yeah, their depth, their size, kind of eventually got to you.
Well, that's one way to look at it. I just think, we had a couple of unfortunate turnovers, and I talked to the coaching staff about it when we fumbled the ball on offense. Our quarterback got into the center exchange, and I asked, our coordinator, said, what's going on with this situation, because we do a lot of things in the gun.
Right.
And we had only been that circumstance this week under twice, and then now we go to a game time, and a young man, that pressure's on right there, and the center didn't, seat the ball to the quarterback's head, and we turned that ball over. The turnover down to the deep end zone, we took that shot right before half. That didn't affect any outcome of the game. We won, like I always say, we'll always win the kicking game.
Right.
And but we went out there and we had a mishandled snap and so forth. But we're going to always have that third of the game in our pocket, and defensively played well, and offensively I think that they were expecting more of a running game, what we showed the previous week, and we came out and Connor lit them up.
Yeah. They had a good game play. You guys had good balance all over the field. What's it going to take this coming week with Westlake?
Just consistency. Build upon some of the success that we had last Friday. I guess last Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think the guys have some confidence. I think they've done their job as far as learning their opponent. These coaches put together an exceptional game plan. So it's just execution.
How do you think the district stacks up to a team like Iowa?
Well, I think there's some parity there with some of the schools we're going to play. I mean, you see Lake Charles Prep, they've put up a ton of points. You see Jennings, scoring a lot of points. I think South Beauregard right now is kind of like us, forming their identity this year. And you have Westlake that's had some success, but not, in district yet. So, we've got, a 4-game road right here that's going to determine who's going to be the district champ.
Yeah, it's always been one of the better 3A districts around the state,
Yeah.
and arguably the tougher than the 4A district around this area.
I agree, and it might end up getting tougher. I hear some of the schools' numbers are going to drop and coming back to 3A, so it'll make our district even stronger.
Even stronger and bigger. Well, Coach, we always appreciate your time. We always appreciate you coming on. We appreciate what you do at St. Louis, and look forward to the best game of the year with Westlake.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. We'll be right back right after this.
Life changes fast. That's why at Bank FMBD, we keep banking simple, with real people to help when you need it, and easy tools you can use anytime. Wherever life takes you, Bank FMBD is there.
Professional Office Products. Call Jason Monte at Professional Office Products, your local Xerox dealer. Remember, don't upgrade your copier till you call them so they can show you the Xerox way. Caraway Chiropractic. Move better, feel better, live better. Contact us today to schedule your appointment. 337-439-9313 or at carawaychiropractic.com. Louisiana Mortgage Associates, proud sponsor of St. Louis Catholic football. Celebrating 25 years in business, we're here to help you with all of your mortgage needs, including new construction, down payment assistance programs, investment properties up to 8 units, and jumbo loans. Call your local mortgage expert, Keith Wimmerly, at 310-HOME or visit swlahome.com. Louisiana Mortgage Associates, for your homegrown home loan.
Well, welcome back to St. Louis and Truax's Trenches, and we are, Coach Truax is a good-looking man, but we have just improved the scenery on stage here. Of course, if I left, it'd really get big. Amber Becknell, thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you, Coach Truax, for inviting me to come.
Yeah, this is really exciting that kind of the way Coach Truax has handled this, he's kind of incorporating the whole community of St. Louis and trying to get everybody involved. So I appreciate you coming on as the cheer coach, as the cheer, I guess it's cheer coach. I guess that's the
Yes.
proper word. So talk a little bit about your time. How long have you been the cheer coach for St. Louis? Talk about how your journey to get here.
Okay, this is my 4th season at St. Louis Catholic High School. I've been cheering and dancing since I was 2 years old. I actually coached at Iowa for 10 years until this position came open. I kind of took it because my children were at Our Lady Queen of Heaven, and I wanted to be able to be with them when they get to high school. And so I have one in 7th grade, so she'll be there in 2 years. So it'll be interesting.
Cheerleader and grooming, is that?
She cheers and dances. I kind of hope she dances. I do not prefer to coach her, but if it happens, it is what it is.
And are you on staff at the school full time?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. You're not. Okay.
I'm there a lot, but no.
But you're there. You probably feel like you are.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah. So talk about your squad this year. I noticed there's a bunch. Is that right?
Yeah, so this is the smallest squad I've had. When I started, I think I started with like 42, and we're down to 29 now. Last year I did lose 12 seniors, and everybody always joked and said it was my favorite group, but they were a good group.
They
But
were
I
good,
think
yeah.
I just had them for so long.
Yeah.
I have 9 seniors this year, but I've been kind of scoping out our feeder schools, and we have some good talent coming in, so I'm excited.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about we've talked to Coach and all the coaches that have come on about their game plan, their practice schedules, and everything. Talk a little bit about your week as you get ready for a Friday night.
Okay. So on Mondays and Wednesdays we practice at 6 in the morning before school. I have a lot of kids that play other sports, and cheerleading doesn't have a season, so we're all year round.
Okay.
So we do have to figure out scheduling with a lot of other sports. Volleyball and soccer are our main 2 that we kind of figure it out with. We were at cheer camp 2 years ago, and my friend from Vanderbilt Catholic was the cheer coach and the athletic director.
Okay.
And I went up to her at camp, and I was like, can you please tell me how you can get everybody at practice? And she said, we practice before school. And I was like, So I left her, and I went straight to my girls, and I said, hey, can we practice before school? Can we try that? And they were like, we'll try it out and see. The first couple weeks were rough.
Yeah.
But after that, once you get used to it, it's just nothing but a thing. But especially my older ones, my seniors, they get out of school early. They were able to all get jobs. They were all, it just kind of like worked out, and it's just kind of become a thing, and everybody's used to it.
So y'all do that Monday and
Wednesday, and then on
Wednesdays?
Tuesdays and Thursdays we do practice after school. So we
Yeah.
kind of like do a little bit of both.
And then
And then football games on Friday nights.
Yeah.
But when basketball season starts, we have basketball games on Tuesdays and Fridays.
do you have to split the squad when it comes to basketball season?
Yes, because we have a lot. And then we also try to at least make it to one of all the other sports at our school. Wrestling was very interesting. That was one that was kind of new to me when we did that.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad that we got invited to cheer for him, because
Right.
now my son wrestles and he loves it.
And he loves it. Okay,
Yes.
well, good. Well, so what do you mentioned you had some good ones coming up. You've been scouting the local schools.
Yeah.
The kids that you have that are cheering now, do you have any newcomers? Do you have any? I know we were talking about football, having some guys that came from other sports. Last second they went recruited from this sport or this sport. Do you have any newcomers that just decided last year or so they wanted to cheer? Is that something that is possible even?
No, but I've been trying to get Mr. Gage's over there's daughter to come cheer. But she plays every sport at the school. So, but no, I don't really get a lot of kids. Last year I got some kids that weren't from our feeder school, so that was exciting.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't get a lot that come from other sports.
Yeah, you just mostly if they've been cheering, they know they love cheering, and they
Yes.
want to do that for a
Yes.
long period of time. You mentioned that you guys have been venturing out into other things, wrestling, and what is it that is so attractive to young ladies, and I guess young men too? I'm not sure, but to do this, what is so gratifying? What is it that really excites you or them about this?
I think with cheer, I think you're the heart of the school. So I mean, you're part of every single sport. Like
Yeah.
I said, it was all year long. So you're able to know every single person on every single team, and you are able to have a part of every sport at our school. And so you're not just only excluded in one specific area. You are the school.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. I think you do put forth a a vibe or a atmosphere that really makes or breaks some of the events that you guys go to, parades and things of that nature, pep rallies. Do you guys get to do pep rallies still?
We have a very minimal, because have minimal facilities, but I hope when we get our new school, we're going to be able to do a lot more.
That sounds good. Well, Amber Becknell, the cheer coach at St. Louis High School, does a fabulous job and obviously has no trouble recruiting and big numbers out there. So we are excited, and everybody will pay more attention to you after seeing this tonight.
Oh, well, thank you.
So congratulations to you and your cheerleaders. We'll take a break.
Life changes fast. That's why at Bank FMBD, we keep banking simple, with real people to help when you need it, and easy tools you can use anytime. Wherever life takes you, Bank FMBD is there.
Professional office products. Call Jason Monte at Professional Office Products, your local Xerox dealer. Remember, don't upgrade your copier till you call them so they can show you the Xerox way. Caraway Chiropractic. Move better, feel better, live better. Contact us today to schedule your appointment. 337-439-9313 or at carawaychiropractic.com. Louisiana Mortgage Associates, proud sponsor of St. Louis Catholic football. Celebrating 25 years in business, we're here to help you with all of your mortgage needs, including new construction, down payment assistance programs, investment properties up to 8 units, and jumbo loans. Call your local mortgage expert, Keith Wimberly, at 310-HOME or visit swlahome.com. Louisiana Mortgage Associates, for your homegrown home loan.
Well, welcome back to Truax's Trenches. Thanks Upscale Productions and Mr. Beals for hosting this event. And as always, we got St. Louis staff here, and we got Kevin Guidry. Needs no introduction. His face has been on lots and lots of cameras. So we and actually we've done this a time.
We have, yes.
Yeah, we've done this before. So yeah. So I guess we're not going to talk cheer with you, are we? We're going to talk.
No,
football.
I mean, I don't know if I can follow that. I mean, that
That's
was a
pretty
pretty
tough.
good interview
That's-
she gave, so it's going to be tough for me to follow that.
That's pretty tough. Talk about your foray back into this coaching deal. Talk a little bit about how it came about, what got your interest in all this.
We don't have enough time here tonight, Mark, but I'll give you the short version of it. I was back in town, and I work in Baton Rouge. I work for the governor. I work for Jeff Landry. I'm the Louisiana Tax Commissioner for the state. And I ran into Chris Truax, and he said, "What are you doing, man?" I said, "Man, missing those LSU days, man." He said, "Look, I'm coaching at St. Louis. Why don't you come out and just take a look at the kids and, see what's going on?" So I went out one day. He didn't know I was there. I was watching and observing everything. And, I came back home, and I talked to my wife, Michelle. I said, I don't know. So I went back another day, and I sat out there, and I ran into Chris, and he had me come and talk to the team. And I think that's what did it. And Chris, you got to know Chris. Chris and I played together at LSU. He's a smart guy. So I'm going to tell you how he hooked me, line and everything. He said, "Kev, my late father-in-law, Mike Duhon, would really love you being out here helping me." Now, for those of you that don't know, I wouldn't have gone to LSU if it wasn't for Mike Duhon, and his daughters is here tonight to tell you that I stayed more at their house than I did my own in Corliss. And I can't say enough about Mike Duhon, and that's the short of me and Chris and why we're here and stuff. And if you guys hang around later, I can tell you a lot of what went on in Broussard Hall when we were there, too.
Make sure all the camera equipment's packed up and moved out. Yeah. What's it been like? What's it been like coaching?
I would always coach during the summer and stuff, and I'd always coach track and basketball at St. Margaret. Both of my girls went to St. Margaret, and both of them went on to St. Louis. And I coached a little bit of track at St. Louis when my youngest daughter was there, who graduated from LSU. And I would always coach, but I never took it serious enough to where I would want to engage with players. And now I'm questioning myself, because a lot of times my wife will give me looks in the stand saying, "Bring it down, bring it down." And I coach the way I played.
Right.
I mean, with passion. And my kids know I love them. And I just try to explain that to them. I say, don't always take what Coach Guidry's telling you that it's bad. I said, if I'm talking to you, that's a good reason.
That's a good thing.
That's
yeah.
something good.
Yeah.
And for those parents that are out there, if you hear me get a little bit loud, charge it to my head and not my heart. I love those kids, but that's the only way I can convey what I want to them, to tell them that, this is serious business.
Right.
I don't like losing,
Right.
and I won't lose.
Yeah.
And it's just to where it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. But the kids, I never thought that I would feel the way I do about the kids. They're great kids.
Yeah.
From great families. And I don't know. I might have gotten a bug, man, or something. But
Yeah.
it's rough because honestly, and my wife can tell you, I must really, really like this because I drive to Baton Rouge and I come back each day to be with these guys.
Wow. That's
I
pretty
do that.
impressive. Yeah.
And Chris knows how I feel about him as a person. And
Yeah.
I told him, I said, hey, if you want me to come and help out, man, I said, Chris, I'll be more than happy to, man. And
Yeah.
we've got a good thing at St. Louis, and I think it's going to only get better.
Right. Yeah. We've talked to, the staff is pretty impressive. The guys that are coaching over there.
We've got the best staff in the state.
Yeah.
I'll argue that against anybody.
Yeah.
We just need to get a group of kids that can believe in what we want them to believe in, and we can win a championship there at St. Louis. I have no doubt. They've had great teams there before.
Right.
But, with all of how this districting goes and all of that stuff, kids and all of that, we just got to find the right group of kids to come and be with us and play with us, and we're going to win the championship. I totally believe that.
Well, how long do you think it takes for someone or staff to come in and kind of transform the whole mindset? How long does it? I mean, I know you guys are doing stuff like this, doing stuff like I know you guys are doing, and hearing the passion in each coach's voice. You've already transformed a lot. I can see that.
Well, I hope we have more.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I have no doubt. But there's not a lot of other I've been a lot of places. I have been a lot of places.
Yeah.
Not a lot of places will put the time and effort into to stuff like you guys are doing right now.
Yeah.
But how long do you think it takes to the kids? And think back when you were that age. How long did it take for a system or a philosophy to kind of sink in?
This is the thing that I've always believed in. You try and make it as simple as you can for these kids so that they can react and not think.
Right.
That's the biggest problem a player can have if he's out on the field thinking about what he's got to do. He's already beat.
Yeah.
So we try, Coach Jones and we try and convey to our kids, guys, we're going to keep it simple. We want you to just play. And if you can just get to a certain spot or a certain point, on the field, we've got a chance.
Right.
But if you've got kids out there trying to think about what coverage to check to, what defense to go to, this, that, we beat.
Yeah.
And that's why, one of the best coaches I've had was Coach Arnsparg at LSU. He said, we're going to let you play off your ability, son. We're not going to make you do too much.
Right.
This is what I want you to do. We're going to play 3 coverages,
Yeah.
and I want you to master those 3 coverages. Because the best thing for a player is to get repetition. That you can't beat that. That is the one thing about a golfer. Golfers are good because they do it over and over and over. And that's what we got to convey to our kids. We want you to be good at just a few things, not a lot.
Right.
Because we can be successful with that.
Yeah, master. of
Yes.
few, yeah, not the jack of all trades.
No,
master
not at
of
all,
few, Right. Let's talk about last Thursday. That was a very entertaining game as far as the back and forth.
I tell you, a lot of people didn't think that we were going to have our way where we had them at for halftime.
Yeah.
And we just got to get our kids to believe that once you put your foot on somebody's throat, you got to keep it there.
Yeah.
You
Is
can't.
that a hard thing to do for
It
kids?
is for kids to when I was that age, I can only imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
I can only imagine. But we got those kids' attention, I think, at halftime to say, guys, did y'all think we would be right here where we're at right now at
Yeah.
halftime?
Yeah.
Because they thought they were going to blow us out the water. And I just think that we've got to get our kids to start believing in what it is that we're telling them and get them to believe in themselves, because we've got a good group of kids. I don't care what nobody say, that you've got to have certain athletes to be real good. If you can make the athletes that you have there be good by what you teach them, I think you're becoming a better coach that way.
Well, I think a lot of times it's the coaching is a lot more needed
Yes.
in situations like
Yeah.
like that, other than just rolling the ball out.
I know
and
it is.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Chris and I talked about, Coach Truax, when he said, come over and help me out, Kev, I said, now, you sure? I don't want to get you fired now because you know me. And he said, no. He said, I want you to coach like you played when we was at LSU. And that's what I try and do.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I try and do.
I think that the game the other night, I think, had to open their minds a little bit to the fact that, hey, we can match up.
It made our kids start to believe in themselves, because some of the stories that I would hear from some of the kids from last year, I won't even talk about that. But they're telling me, Coach Guidry, we're starting to like football again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that does to a kid to be out there every day and not like what they're doing?
Yeah.
I don't want you to be out there if you don't love what you're doing,
Right.
because that's why I'm here, because I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I want you to feel the same way that I do by being out there, because you can only be successful at something if you enjoy doing it and you continue to do it. I'm a
Right.
firm believer in that.
No, I agree with you, and I think that but don't you, confidence, inner belief, I mean, that's something that you can tell somebody to have, but until they actually,
Yeah.
and have some success and realize, you know what, I can do this.
The thing that I like is that when we have our meetings before the game, before we go out and stuff, I tell my kids, I say, look, you're only going to be as good as the guys that you play around, and lift each other up. When a bad play is going to happen. This is football. Even when I played at LSU and in the pros, you're going to have bad days, but it shows to your testament how good of a person you are when you can overcome those things and bring the people around you with you.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen, so many finger pointing and stuff when I play and stuff like that. We don't do that at St. Louis.
Yeah.
We play together.
Well, that's
and if there's anybody there that doesn't believe in that, I don't want them playing for me.
Yeah, well, that's outstanding. We appreciate you, and it sounds like.
Oh, I've got a lot more to talk about, Mark. I'm not done.
No. But somebody's got to cut you off.
This guy here, him and I go way back, guys. He's been on my television show a number of times and does a great job for McNeese and everybody. But I just can't say enough for the St. Louis family.
Yeah.
I've been here before. I mean, all of my kids have gone there and stuff, and I know the system. And I just think that Coach Truax, he's going to bring some things to this school that I don't think they've ever seen before with the people that he's bringing with him.
Yeah.
Guys, you can match us up. Some of the LSU coaches call and say, what is Coach Truax going, what is he doing at St. Louis? You got some kind of NIL deal you guys got going on there? No. We just love Coach Truax. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
is.
Well, it's good. Well, I wasn't going to tell you to stop talking. What I was going to say was that there's probably people that want to ask you a question or two
Oh,
in the
man.
audience. So that's what I was going to.
Be easy on me, guys,
That's
okay?
what
Be
I was
easy on
going to
me.
say. Coach Truax, I know you got to ask a first one.
I do. I met Kevin when at LSU and teammates, and just obviously me being on the offensive side and him playing on the defensive side. What was your fondest memory of playing at LSU?
Okay, so what was your fondest memory of playing at LSU?
I had so many of them, Chris. You know what I'm saying. On Saturdays, I would light it up. But we went down to Georgia between the hedges. Coach Vince Dooley. This was
devil
for
went
the SEC championship. And it was a minute, and I know Pat's going to look this up. It was a minute and I think 13 seconds left. And they had the ball, and they was going down to score, and they were going to beat us, and it was going to be over. I came in and intercepted the ball and ran it back for 10, 15 yards. We came on offense. Tommy Hodgson threw a go route to Wendell Davis. Wendell Davis scores. We win the SEC championship.
Wow.
That was my finest moment.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good moment. That's pretty good. Yeah. Anybody else got something for Coach? Anybody?
Jones, you better, don't you dare, Jones.
All right, what you got?
Yeah, me and Kevin is my youngest brother.
Okay.
Love you to death. You're doing a terrific job.
I appreciate that.
All we gotta do is keep the faith.
Yeah.
We win a championship.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go.
All right,
there you
then.
go. There you go.
All right.
What's been the most rewarding thing so far since coming to St. Louis for you as a coach?
I tell you, I've never had the closeness that I have with some of these guys, even with some of the teammates that I've had. I mean, sometimes when I get there, because I'm coming back from Baton Rouge, the guys are looking for me. Have you seen Coach Guidry? Where's Coach Guidry? You don't know how that makes me feel, man. To walk into that place and no kids are looking for me, that's a good feeling, man. That's a good feeling.
Well, it means you're making an impact, so that's a
I
good
hope
thing.
so, Mark.
Yeah,
I hope so.
absolutely.
I really do,
yeah.
man. I knew. I tell you what, Mike, you know what? You and I talk a lot. And I'm going to tell you, guys, that's not any guy that I know that believes in St. Louis like this guy does. Mike and I go way back. And he's got two sons that I coach, and I've never seen two individuals that are more respectable in talking to coaches, even if they're wrong. Because I've been to Mike's house, and he will tear them a new if they act up. And
Yeah.
I can't thank him enough for being that kind of parent, because you don't know what that does to us out on the field being coaches by the way you've raising your kids. So hats off to you, Mike.
Yep. Very good. Thank you. Anybody else got anything for Coach?
I just want to apologize. Oh, she's gone. The lady that was the cheerleader that was there.
No,
Is she
she's
gone?
back there. She's in the
Look,
back.
I know you think I'm the meanest guy, don't you? Just say it. Let me tell you what happened, guys.
He calls me the Wicked Witch.
No, let me tell you what happened real quick, guys. We was at, I want to say we was playing in Westlake, and I'm not sure who we were playing, but I was doing my DB drills, and she was trying to get her cheerleaders together and organized and everything. Yes, you're right, Jones. And I said, man, where you going? Don't walk in front of my drill. You got to go around the track. She looked at me like,
Yeah, but how many?
I just love what I do, guys. So
Yeah.
I'm not a bad guy. And I never had a chance to apologize to you for that, because
Well, you could have just marched all 50 of them right on through. You had the numbers. You should have marched them on through there. Well, I apologize. This thing has gotten completely out of hand with Coach Guidry here, but it's always been fun. So,
oh, thank you, man.
Coach
Keep doing what
Guidry,
you're
we
doing.
appreciate you. Give it up for Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Life changes fast. That's why at Bank FMBD, we keep banking simple, with real people to help when you need it, and easy tools you can use anytime. Wherever life takes you, Bank FMBD is there.
Professional office products. Call Jason Monte at Professional Office Products, your local Xerox dealer. Remember, don't upgrade your copier till you call them so they can show you the Xerox way. Caraway Chiropractic. Move better, feel better, live better. Contact us today to schedule your appointment. 337-439-9313 or at carawaychiropractic.com. Louisiana Mortgage Associates, proud sponsor of St. Louis Catholic football. Celebrating 25 years in business, we're here to help you with all of your mortgage needs, including new construction, down payment assistance programs, investment properties up to 8 units, and jumbo loans. Call your local mortgage expert, Keith Wimberly, at 310-HOME or visit swlahome.com. Louisiana Mortgage Associates, for your homegrown home loan.
Hey guys, welcome back to the last segment of Truax's Trenches here at Mr. Bill's, and I want to thank one more time Upscale Productions and thank the Booster Club and all you guys that are out here, and got a couple of players here, Connor Boudreau and Will Flavin. So it's the first time we've had players on, so excited about that. But want to first of all thank both of you for being here, and thank you for participating. This is pretty exciting, right? You're a high school team that. You guys got a show, right? How exciting is that? No, you have to calm down a little bit. I know Coach Guidry's that's a tough guy to follow, but you guys are going to have to speak up.
Thank you for having us.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Connor, let's start with you. Last week against Iowa, you guys had a lot of success throwing the ball. What was that like?
Yes, sir. Really didn't work throwing the ball that much in practice. We thought we were going to run it a lot more than we did. And then we just came out and we started throwing it, and it was working, so we just kept going with what was working.
Yeah, what was it that you saw or that your coaches saw let you know that made that possible? What was it about what they were doing?
Oh, I mean, they're definitely good up front. That's probably one of the, if not is the best D-line we've played all year. I mean, it's just hard to get past them. And we're just getting beat on the run. We gashed them a few here and there, but we just couldn't really get those explosive run plays that we usually do, and we had to make up for it with throwing the ball, and we just took advantage, found somebody we could take advantage of, and just attack them as much as we could.
Yeah, it was a lot of a lot of fun watching those things happen, I'm sure. Tell us a little about your football journey. What classification are you now?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, so tell me, how long have you been playing football?
I played all through middle school and all through high school, so
Where'd you go to middle school?
ICCS.
Oh, you grinning at somebody over there. I'm not sure who.
Coach
That's
Shelston,
Coach Shelston. Was
Coach
you
Shelston
a
was my
coach?
middle school football coach.
He taught you how to throw. He didn't make a kicker out of you. No,
Not quite.
not quite. Will, let's talk about your journey. A little bit different, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk a little bit about how you made your way. We've heard the stories, but let's,
Yeah, so I played soccer my whole life.
Yeah.
And Coach Shelley, when I was a freshman, he was asking me to go play football, and I always turned him down and just said no.
what was
I'm
it about
good.
that you didn't want to play?
I was just all in on soccer. I didn't want to take time away from that. I thought he was kind of joking with me, or I didn't really take him that serious. So I just blew him off and didn't really think anything of it. And I think you've heard the story from him.
That's
but,
all right. We'd like to hear it from actual
yeah.
use, because coaches lie sometimes.
Yeah, so we were joking, and I was like, Coach, I bet I can kick the ball farther than you. And he was like, all right, come see. So he was showing me some stuff, and yeah, I kind of carried on from there. He asked me to come out and kick with the kickers during the summer, and yeah, I came out to kick, and it just carried on from there.
So when you first went out and kicked a football compared to a soccer ball, was it an immediate thought process like, man, this might be something I can do, or
No,
it's like,
for sure, yeah. So I don't. It's a lot similar in a lot of ways. So yeah,
Yeah.
I picked it up pretty good. So.
yeah, but did he make it clear when he wanted you to play football that he wanted you to kick, or did you think he wanted you to go on the D line or something like that?
He mentioned going to play another position, but
That's when the no. That's when
yeah,
the no.
nah,
Yeah.
no sir. So
Yeah.
just kicking. But,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Well, it's been fun watching you, and of course it's a long line of great kickers that have come through St. Louis.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Connor, always been a quarterback. Always.
My 8th grade year, I actually played running back and linebacker.
That's Coach Shell again. How did you do that?
I don't think he was there that year. He left my 8th grade year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
6th grade, I played quarterback because Luke Pearson, who graduated year before last, was in 8th grade when I was in 6th grade. So he started then,
Yeah.
and he got hurt in the jamboree. So I played through 6th grade year, and then 7th grade year we didn't have football because of COVID.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, we played at McNeese that year against Grand Lake, and we had one game. So I played against in 7th grade, and then 8th grade year I came back and I played running back and linebacker, and then got to high school and I talked to Coach JP and he told me he wanted me to play quarterback or whatever. So I picked back up with it.
Okay. Okay. Any other sports? You play any other sports?
I played baseball. Played baseball 4 years of high school.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Let's talk a little bit about this coming week. Westlake starting district play. How are you guys feeling about starting district play and moving to the other side of the stadium and playing at Westlake? What's it look like for you, Will? What do you think? How are you guys mentally? How are you guys invested in it? Are you guys ready to go?
Just take it 1 week at a time. Just same as all week. Just lock in on the game that we have ahead. So.
And everybody feels good. Everybody's
Yes, sir. Confident going into
yeah,
it.
the morale's up. And
Yes, sir, for sure.
Yeah, Connor, is this one of the seniors? You guys feel like it's your responsibility to kind of be leaders in the locker room, leaders on the bus, things of that nature?
Yes, sir. I feel like it's definitely one of those things that just kind of comes along with being a senior. It's just even if you choose that you don't want to, or you kind of have to because everyone looks up to you. So
Yeah.
you kind of lead from the front. Everybody's watching what you're doing. So
Yeah. What's been the most, I'll take one of the questions that these guys were asking Coach Guidry. What's been one of the most satisfying things so far for you this year?
I'd probably say, definitely getting whenever we were playing Orange Field and we ran the spear with the post to trace up the middle, kind of like our first I guess you'd say real passing touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Because we scored one off of a screen, but that one was our first true passing touchdown. Once I got that first one out the way,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of where the confidence picked up, and after you get that first one out the way, it kind of just smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Will? What has been the highlight of your year so far?
Just knocking down kicks, helping the team out.
Yeah.
I can, so.
Yeah. So you had what's your long this year? You've had a 50,
52 is the longest.
52,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
We watched you the other night during warm-ups. We were at 55. We saw you hit the post.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. I was like,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
well he'll get that. Put a little more strength into it.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys are a lot of fun to watch. You from your coach's standpoint, you guys are fine young men, and you all come from good families, and so you're to be commended on that. No matter how far your football takes you or doesn't take you, this has got to be a lot of fun for both of you.
Oh, yeah,
And we
for sure.
appreciate what you do for St. Louis. We appreciate you being on the show tonight, and thank you so much.
Thank
Will
you.
Flavin,
Thank
Connor
y'all.
Boudreaux, everybody. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here, and thank you one more time to Mr. Bill's Upscale Productions, and one more time we'll go watch the Saints on Friday night at Westlake. So go Saints! Good night, everybody.